Fortnite has officially announced that OG is set to return on December 6th, tweeting out, OG is coming back and it's here to stay. Relive Battle Royale from start and explore the OG map, collect OG loot and relive OG seasons. Drop back in on December 6th. A couple takeaways here. It's here to stay, guys. It's not leaving apparently. We will start on chapter 1, season 1, and obviously go through the seasons. OG loot pool, OG seasons, and of course the OG map itself. It will return on December 6th, a few days after the drop of chapter 6. With much of the community, well, I think everyone overall is excited about the news. I can see some confliction though. Now, some people are hesitant about this OG game mode. And there's a concern that this mode could pull attention away from the launch of chapter 6, that players will not be interested to play chapter 6, and that chapter 6 won't get its fair chance to shine, like one of its predecessors, chapter 1. And that type of player will just be playing this OG season, which of course, I believe that's the point. Epic are kind of diverse in their catalogue of game modes. If you want a bit of rhythm game, you can go to Festival. If you want racing, there is still Rocket Racing. If you want a bit of quick style action gameplay with a twist of OG and a twist of New Age, try Reload. And if you want actual OG, here's the mode for you. And of course, if you want up to date, new fun mechanics, try chapter 6. I think these modes can definitely coexist. I don't think there's a problem with that. But where is the confliction? But before I get any deeper into that point, I would really appreciate it if you can hit that subscribe button and leave a like, as it does help me in the old YouTube algorithm and helps push the video to more people. So thank you for that. So back to the point, where is the confliction? Well, for example, one argument is that the development of the metaverse had previously diverted development resources from BR, and only recently people have felt that all modes were finally getting a fair share of updates. I think the effort that the teams have put into chapter 5 overall has been incredible, and they can seem to juggle the game modes. Like LEGO has had quite a fair share, Festival, the only one that has sort of fallen away is Rocket Racing. And naturally over the years some game modes will not last. Not saying that Rocket Racing won't come back, it's actually keeping a very consistent player base at the moment, so who knows. So I understand the concern that for introduction of a permanent OG game mode, and the fact that we will have 10 maps over 10 months I believe, plus there is new game modes that is meant to be coming as hinted by leakers. People are concerned that we might return to another uncertain period. However, I think Epic Games is in a much better shape now than they were over a year ago. So I'm very confident that Epic Games can juggle everything here. But another thing I keep hearing with the return of Chapter 1 Season 1 is that this is somehow a loophole for the return of old battle passes. From a personal standpoint, that would feel highly manipulative of the wording, but Fortnite can ultimately do as they please. However, after reading through the non-exclusive terms of the battle passes that can return after Chapter 5 Season 4, there's a lot of if, buts and maybes. Are all items eligible to return to the shop later? Yes. At least 18 months everything can return. Are all items guaranteed to come to a shop after 18 months? No. A lot of the argument is like, apparently this new way, if battle passes were set to return, it would defeat FOMO, like people wouldn't be so concerned about missing out. Now please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but reading through the terms of conditions, a singular item from the Chapter 5 Season 4 Battle Pass may return after 18 months. No guarantee that a full Battle Pass will return. How it's worded, they still may never return. Like, I don't see how that defeats FOMO. I just think that increases FOMO. Currently the status quo means the Battle Pass will not return. Like, this actually, in my head, FOMO doesn't or shouldn't exist currently, because there is no chance that these skins will return. There should be no FOMO. Yeah, at the time you think, oh, I've got to complete the battle pass or buy it, because if I don't, I won't get it. But that's pretty clear and concrete. Like, you can't really have a fear of missing out on something that you missed out on already. I can see how you can have jealousy, but you can't actually have FOMO for something that you either wasn't around for or just didn't buy at the time. If the battle passes were to return, or singular items from singular battle passes were to return, for me, they will have a set time and date when they return to the shop, and that would increase the FOMO, because it may never return. Like, yeah, I understand the argument currently that these battle passes, the ones prior to Chapter 5 Season 4, are exclusive to their seasons. And it's not fair to people who didn't play the game in that time, but I don't think this current system, the proposed one for the non-exclusive battle passes, is offering them any more certainty or providing any more of an opportunity. Well, actually, it's definitely providing more of an opportunity, but with everything else going on in Fortnite, the current battle pass, festival, rocket racing, Lego, collab skins, mini passes, the state of the shop at the moment, unless these children come into the game and are multi-millionaires, it doesn't solve anything in my opinion. And when you see them in the game, oh, it's kind of sad I didn't get it, but at the same time, you kind of know where you stand. Unless they were to introduce battle pass sections of the item shops where over a month of chapter 1 season 1 before it becomes chapter 1 season 2 that battle pass can return. Yes, I know in a previous video I didn't really state that. I'm aware that the season 1 battle pass isn't really a battle pass, but if you're telling me that all the battle passes can return, but apparently Renegade Raider is different because it's an item shop or whatever it was back then, nah, I don't know why that would be different. That's a bit of a weird one on me. Like, everyone I don't know why that's different. I'm laughing because it's stupid. But I've heard that argument that apparently this is somehow different because it wasn't really a battle pass. Shut up. Renegade Raider and Aerial Assault Trooper should be able to return if they do this system. That's just stupid. But even in this format, after that season again concludes, the battle pass will be removed from the item shop, meaning that people will still miss it. But I guess if chapter 1 OG is here to stay, after 10 seasons, it will just go back to season 1. But I'm just surmising at this point. I don't see anything to say that's how you meant to interpret it, but that's how I'm interpreting it. What I'm trying to say here, if the infrastructure for non-exclusive battle passes were to move over to exclusive battle passes if they were to return, I don't think that's a great system. And that is absolutely terrible. And I think the non-exclusive battle passes returning or the system being used is just awful. But back to talking about the actual seasons returning, I'm very excited about it. I can't wait to go through Season X again. I really enjoyed that season. I know people hated it because of the mechs, but I actually enjoyed it. I think people will probably eventually be disappointed about actual events, or when I'm talking about events, I'm not talking about live events, I'm talking about like the cube walking around the map. And if it's just the OG seasons and how quickly they're going to move through the seasons, we're not going to see a lot of that. And if we see any of it, I will be happily surprised. But it will be very interesting next season to see the battle between the OG game mode, Reload, and of course Chapter 6. I still think my early money will be on Chapter 6. I believe, yes, Season 1 will grip people for that month. Season 2 was very similar in terms of gameplay and loot pool, and probably for the rest of that chapter. Another point that keeps coming up is what happens after Season 10. I believe they should just go back to Season 1. I've heard people saying, oh, but then they can make what-if seasons. And I'm like, doesn't that just remove the point of what we've been arguing about for the original Chapter 1 OG and for this remix season? Where people were like, oh, it's changed too much. Like, why would you then ask to have actual... You were literally asking for remix seasons, like what? I mean, they made what if seasons alongside OG, maybe, but it just seems stupid that you would keep arguing about Reload not being OG, even though it's never restating that it's OG, and the same with the OG season and remix, and then you get the chance to actually replay the seasons, and people already asking, what are you going to do after season 10? For me, that's stupid. Just go back to Season 1. And that's about it for my thoughts on it. Last thing I want to say is plug my support creator code. If anyone buys anything in the Fortnite item shop, consider using creator code Mr. JLYII in the Fortnite item shop. Hashtag ad, hashtag every partner. Thank you for watching. Leave your comments down below what you make of OG coming back. And YouTube really loves you binge watching my content, so if you want to watch this, it's a similar video. Give it a watch. But guys, it has been your boy Mr. JLY. Till the next time, bye bye. Thanks for watching.